Well, good afternoon, and welcome back, those of you that have watched the two earlier videos. This is the third video on the same theme, on the theme of spiritual life. And these three videos are part of a whole series I'm doing on various ideas and themes that relate with spiritual life, relate to spiritual life, and relate to our present situation here and what we can do to help. Okay, so I believe I left off on video 2. I was just finishing talking about the two legs on which spiritual practice, I call it spiritual practice, rests. So it's like there's two legs, sort of two parts to the fundamental engagement, let's call it, with the spiritual path, with spiritual life. And the first one is the practices, the things we do at a particular time during the day or the night. These are things like reading, the teaching we're working with. These are things like maybe getting together with your teacher, once a week or once a day, or whatever your arrangement is. Meditation, things like regular meditation, which is often done. Prayer, contemplative prayer. There's a number of different practice and things people do. Sometimes people just sit, look at their mind, examine their mind, go back over the day and kind of see how you did, how present you were, and how, if you were able to stay in a state of sort of loving awareness, etc. So this leg of spiritual practice I call the particular things, the special things we do at special times during the day. And what all these practices do is strengthen our mind, they strengthen our focus. They also help us to become more aware of our mind. And the deep practices, like deep meditation or prayerful communion, I also call it, those practices, when you've been doing them a while and you become proficient at them, your mind begins to clear. Those practices as well can lead you to a real deep or direct contact or experience of the spiritual reality which you are. And that's one reason they are done. But in addition to that, they just strengthen your mind, excuse me, and your commitment in general. I'm going to take a sip of water here. So these are very important. And as I said, there's a range, and different individuals will emphasize or use different ones, different practices. But it's very helpful, and again, all the spiritual traditions and paths of which I am aware of have this aspect to them. It's what they teach, and it's generally what the spiritual practitioners of a particular tradition do. Now, the other leg on which spiritual life rests is what you do every moment of every minute of every hour of your day. Okay, because again, spiritual life is about your entire life. You can't, as you grow in your commitment, and as you begin to grow, to progress, we can use the term progress, you find that you begin to bring all of the activities of your life. You want to bring everything in your life into that awareness. You want to include it in. So it's like your spiritual commitment, and your probably by now expanding awareness, more sensitive awareness, just begins to grow and grow until it is present always, throughout the day and in the night, even in your dreams. As your mind expands and grows, you begin to recognize things in your dreams. You begin to actually, at times, it's called lucid dreaming, you will actually realize you are dreaming at night, and then you can make use of the dream or learn from it in a very, very direct way. Okay, so that's the other part, the other leg on which spiritual life stands. Now that is referred to, often by Buddhism, it's referred to as mindfulness, self-awareness. I think in the Indian traditions, in India, they refer to it as witnessing. But what that practice is a continually being present here and now, continually being self-aware here and now, So I don't just mean being present in your activity and in the circumstances and conditions of, whatever it is you're doing as you move through the day, but you must also be present in your mind, in your awareness. You must be aware of the movement of thought and feelings, of how you feel inside, how you feel in your heart. I call that the feeling tone. So that's the second part, the second leg on which spiritual practice stands. And this one they're both very, very important. But this one is, in many ways, you could say it's the most difficult, because as we go through our day, we are distracted, right? We have commitments and we have things we must think about, we must give our attention to. And so this particular, let's say, practice, this particular focus, it takes a long time. That's what I would say based on my experience of others. It takes a long time for this to really deepen and become strong. Doesn't have to, but it seems to with most of us, because our lives are busy. But in any case, as we make a real commitment to spiritual life, as our entire life begins to take place within the light of our spiritual commitment and our spiritual understanding, these practices become stronger and stronger. If meditation is one of your practices, examining your mind or whatever, you find you get better and better. You go deeper and deeper, and you begin to really start to experience the depths of your being. You begin to experience the deep, deep silence there at your core, and the presence that is there, that it actually is you, that you are in, from which you could say you arise. And likewise, as you move through the day, you find yourself becoming more aware of your mind, of the movement of your mind and of your thoughts. You become more aware of what you're doing, and you become more skillful at working. In Buddhism, again, they talk about skillful means. You become more skillful at working with your thoughts and your emotions, so that they don't carry you away, so that they don't necessarily get in the way of what you hope to do, and so that you can be meeting life and interacting with all your fellow human beings and performing your functions and your duties from a place that it's just more it's more efficient, it seems more effective, and it's more fun. And that's kind of part of what we're aiming at is to have fun, because spiritual life is a serious commitment. It's not something that's casual or easygoing, and yet fun and ultimately bliss, right? Good feeling, joy is a part of that. And why is that? It's because in your true nature, your essence, as I like to use the term, the self with a capital S, or the Christ, you are happiness itself. You are joy itself. And of course, as you begin to progress in your journey, in your spiritual life, as your mind begins to be emptied, be purified of that which obstructs it, and your emotions settle down and love begins to come out more and more, then you begin to feel better and better, and you begin to enjoy yourself more and more, and you begin to experience the freedom that you are. Okay, so let me see, do I need to recapitulate, to repeat anything here? Okay, I'm getting, excuse me a moment, I'm just going to take another sip. I'm getting to talk just a bit about meditation, to include meditation in here, which at the end of the last video, for those of you who were with me on the last video, that was I think number 5, and even the one before that is where we started on this subject. We did a short meditation, so I just offer a little very basic description of meditation. There are many different kinds. Some have you concentrate on a word or a concept or an image. The meditation that I recommend, that I have done for many, many, many years, and no many other people as well, is a very simple, direct, and straightforward meditation. In this meditation, we kind of start at the end rather than the beginning. And it's like the meditation we did at the end of the last one, for those of you who are with me. It's just a matter of relaxing the body entirely, the belly, and the heart, chest. Let the shoulders drop. And then make sure the mouth is very relaxed, the lips gently held together, and the eyes soft. The eyes soft make sure you recognize, or rather you're aware of that. The eyes tend to maybe kind of tense up, at least my eyes. I tend to do that. And that's very helpful because the condition of the eyes really seems to affect the mind, the awareness. Okay, any tension in the body seems to drive that thought process and drive it more quickly. And what we're doing in meditation, now we're not fighting our thoughts, our feelings. We're simply letting them be. And we are resting that sense of self-awareness. I am aware. We are resting that. We are resting that sense of attention in awareness itself. And from there, and again, this is like anything we do, we become better at it, more skillful at it over time. From there, just resting, completely relaxed, and one thing people will also often do, and this can be helpful, is pay attention to your breathing. Slowly in and out. That also helps quiet the mind. So then when thoughts arise, we're just aware of them. We do nothing with them. I believe this is a fundamental Buddhist practice as well. We just let them come and go. And then, as inevitably happens, at some point we begin to identify with the thoughts and find ourselves thinking about something. As soon as we realize that, we let the thoughts go, and we relax and return and just rest in that deep silence, that deep comfort. So this is just a fundamental meditation practice. Okay, I think that's enough for today. And I'm just going to mention once again this series of videos is titled Reason and Beyond, and that is the title of my latest book, which covers all of these themes that I'm speaking about and these ideas in detail, and that book will be published next spring 2019 due to publication and marketing schedules. And then there's a couple of books that I published a little while ago called From the Christ Mind, Book 1 and 2. They are a link to A Course in Miracles, which is a profound spiritual teaching. So if you're interested in that kind of teaching, it works with your mind and your heart, you might check it out. They're available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. So thank you all for joining me, and God bless you. God bless us each and every one, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.